Hi there, Pastor Lanre here. Welcome to another interesting episode of Pastor Lanre Uncensored. Today, I've got a very, very interesting subject to discuss with you. And the subject we're discussing is, can a single person be my spouse's best friend? Can a single person be my spouse's best friend? But before we jump into it, let us take this time of worship with the absolutely beautiful and anointed Doris Francis. Welcome back. Wasn't that a powerful time of worship with Doris Francis? Now, to our subject today. Can a single person be my spouse's best friend? Can a single person be my spouse's best friend? This is a very controversial subject, and there are people on the two sides of the divide. There are those that say, why are you having another best friend outside of your spouse? And there are others that are saying, as long as it is not an emotional affair, and it is not like the person is having a full-blown extramarital affair, or this person is having an extramarital affair with this friend, is there no place for spouses of people to have strong platonic friendships with single people, whether they are of same sex or whether they are of the opposite sex? Now, this is the way I want to look at it. First things first. Apparently, this question is coming from a married person. So the first thing we want to ask is, why? Why are you resentful of your spouse having close relationships with single people? Why is it a problem for you? Why are you not tolerant of it? Is it because your spouse has a history? Is it because there are also issues of insecurity within yourself? Or could it be that you are just working on an assumption? Now, let me say this to married people. Not every single person is after your spouse. Not every single person wants to snatch your husband or snatch your wife. Not every single person is after your spouse. And it is important that we understand that. Some of them may, and I can't hold brief for them. Some of them may, some of them might, they might try, but we need to also understand not every single person is interested in your spouse. There are other things in that relationship that they are gaining, and if the two of them are close, it means there's something each party is bringing to the table. Because you must realize this, friendships or relationships are value propositions. Nobody enters a friendship without gaining anything. So maybe it's the intellectual discourse. Maybe it's the fun element in their coming together. I don't know. Or in their interaction. It could be any of many, many reasons. But the first thing I want to address is, why are you uncomfortable with your spouse being friendly with a single person? You must remember this. You yourself were single once. At times, the way married people go at this thing is almost like if you're walking down a street once you're married and there's a single person coming from the opposite side of the street, cross to the other side. Don't talk to them. Don't touch them. The truth is that is not possible. In the course of life, married or not, your spouse is going to have to interact with single people. Your spouse is going to have to interact with them. Now, if that relationship makes you uncomfortable, then we have to investigate further why. Are there gaps in your relationship? Is there something, is there a posture? Is there a posturing that your spouse has taken that makes you think that there is more to that relationship than it's there? What is your spouse doing that makes you suspicious? Do they have history? Is the person a philanderer? Because at times the problem is not with the single person. And I think this is important. In fact, most times the problem may not be with the single person. In that situation, I think you need to have a crucial, honest, sincere conversation with your spouse. You know, I feel that the place of a marital relationship is that kind of place where people should be open and sincere to one another. So, if you can have a very honest conversation with your spouse, I'm sure very easily you can get to the bottom of that. Now, is it every single person that makes you feel like this? Or is it a particular single person that makes you feel like that? Is it how your spouse is with this person that makes you uncomfortable? And if it is a particular person, then you need to be quite direct about it. You need to be direct in asking your spouse how this is playing out. And I was looking at my notes because I didn't want to forget this point. Now, people make a lot of issues out of it's a single person, it's a single person. And the question I ask is, will you be happier if it was a married person? Because we almost make it look like the single person is the enemy. So if the single person is close to your spouse, will it make you happier if it was a married person? Will you be more at ease? All right. Now, husbands, listen to me. Look at me right here. women have great intuition. Don't downplay it. Don't consign it into the trash bin of stereotyping them. Don't say, oh, she's just insecure. I have realized that a lot of men get into trouble because they don't listen to their wives. Husbands, listen to your wives. Husbands, listen to your wives. All right? Because they have great intuition. They can smell something from 100 meters afar that you don't even know if it is standing right in front of you. And the same thing happens with women. Women, you must understand this. Trust your husband's instinct. If your husband is uncomfortable about any guy that is around you, trust his instincts. All right? There are things about men that only men can pick up. Just like there are things about women that only women can pick up. Maybe there's a way he looks at you. You don't even know he looks at you like that. Maybe there's a way he cocks his head when he's talking to you. Maybe there's a posture he takes. Maybe there's a way he is when he's with you that you think he's just being cordial, but your husband can tell that this has gone beyond the levels of cordiality. So, men, learn to trust your wife's intuition. Women, learn to trust your husband's instinct. All right? Now, why is all of these things a big issue? One of the issues we have is when boundaries are not properly established, we leave ourselves in this place where there's conjecture, there's suspicion, there are all of these things. See, husbands and wives, listen to me. You people must decide. What are your boundaries in relating with anybody else outside of your marriage? It must be something that two of you agree to. That way you can be accountable to each other. You can keep each other in check. Now, if there's no boundary, what is the single person supposed to do? How is the single person supposed to know what your boundaries are if you do not establish them? If you don't like the fact that your husband and a single friend is talking, and when laughter erupts between them, they are touching one another, you must set that as a boundary and let your spouse know that, you see, this for us, I don't think it's cool. This makes me feel this way. And if two of you agree on your boundaries, then it makes it easier for the two of you to know how to handle it. Still talking about boundaries. Another thing where boundaries must be established is phone calls or texting. Husbands and wives, you must establish those boundaries, no matter who is involved. Maybe it's a single person, maybe it's a married person. Anybody outside of that marriage, you must have boundaries. See, don't get me wrong. Don't throw the baby over with the bathwater. There are exceptions. There are emergency cases where someone can call you. But really, I don't think a colleague should be calling you at 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. in the morning just to ask how you are doing. There may be nothing there, but that shows a total lack of respect for boundaries. And also, husbands, stop texting that single girl at 1 a.m. Stop texting the single girl at 1 a.m. You also are not respecting boundary. If the single person does not have boundary, you that is married must have a boundary. Out of respect for your spouse, there are certain things you cannot do. If boundaries are established, it makes it easy to deal with many of the conflict that arises from this thing. Now, I want to share a story with you, and it is a personal story. And before I came to do this, I took permission from the person involved that I'm going to use this story as an example. I have this friend, and she's married. Got married. Before she got married, we were a gang. We were a group. We were always together. We were going everywhere together. We went to school together. In fact, I gave him the connect to marry her. I was the connect. I was the middle guy. I was the guy. And when she started falling for him, I was one of the first people to know that, okay, looks like something is happening here. So it's a relationship of many decades. Fast forward to last year or 2 years ago, something began to happen. Because of where I was in my life, I started leaning more on my old friends for emotional support. They were the ones I called, because that happens to many of us. When life happens to you, you want to go after the friends that knew you before you became who everybody now knows you to be, because those ones know you. One of the few people that can still crack certain kind of jokes with me seated and say certain kind of things. So we're talking a lot. And at times I will call her and I will ask about her husband, and I'm like, oh, where's your boyfriend? And she'll go, oh, don't worry, he's very busy. And we'll keep on talking. And we can talk for an hour or two, and we'll just keep on talking. And at times I will ask about the husband, and she will tell me something. Oh, don't worry, it's just the thing we're discussing. And we'll just continue with our gist. A few months down the line, like 6 months down the line, I get a call from my husband. And he says to me, Pastor Lanre, you know that I don't have any issues with you. You are my guy. And I mean, I loved his approach. And he says to me, talk to your friend. And I said, what do you mean? He says, talk to your friend, because the way she's carrying on, it's making me uncomfortable. I know it is not you. I know it is her. Because at times I'm there, I'm hearing her side of the conversation. I'm standing right in front of her, and I can hear when you say, is your husband there? Can I talk to him? You call my name. And I'm there when she tells you that I am doing something else just so that she can keep talking to you. But it's becoming a problem for me because we can't have any conversation without your name coming up. It's always, oh, something that Pastor Lanre said. Oh, Pastor Lanre said this. Oh, Pastor Lanre said. And I told him, dude, thank you for telling me. I got you. Nobody needed to tell me. Out of respect for their marriage, I did a tactical retreat and removed myself from that equation. Now, why am I saying this and sharing this with you? At times, it is in the things that the spouse is doing that is making the other partner feel insecure. I mean, this guy had no reason to feel anything. And I love this maturity because he didn't turn it into a fight with him and his wife. He just called me and says, dude, you be my guy. See what your friend they do. Talk to her. See what they happen. And I got it. I got it because the way she was relating with me was making him uncomfortable. Says we can't have any conversation without your name coming up. Now, the things you say almost have more weight in my house than the things I say. And that was a problem. And I got it. So what I'm saying is this. Boundaries must be established. You must know the things that you can do and the things that you should not do. I don't think there's anything wrong with a single person being friends with a married person as long as to the two of them they are very clear and they are clearly established boundaries. Because both ways we can gain a lot from platonic relationships. And if you are in this kind of relationship also, you also want to be careful so that you are not getting into an emotional affair. Because an emotional affair, they've said, oftentimes is the precursor to extramarital affair. So you want to be careful there. What are some of the things you can do? Let me say one of the things you can do. One of the things, there's the excitement. There's the excitement of a new relationship, of a new friendship. There's something about meeting someone new that energizes people, that causes them to be happy. All right? And you don't want to rob them of those kind of experiences. But again, like I say, boundaries must be established. The key word is boundaries. Now, one of the things you can do when these relationships are forming is let your spouse know. For the life of me, I don't understand how you can have a secret best friend outside of your spouse. Why? If you meet someone and, you're excited about it, the right thing to do is to let your spouse know when you are forging new friendships. And if it's a friendship that you really want to nurture, the second thing you must do, bring your spouse into it. It is better she is our friend and he is our friend than she is your friend or he is your friend. It is better if he or she is our friend. So if it is a relationship you really want to nurture, I would suggest that you bring your spouse into that relationship. Yes, your partner will understand who is the primary friend in the relationship, but at least it is not something that is shrouded in secrecy. The next thing you want to do is don't keep secrets from your spouse. All right? Don't ever engage in conversations with your friend that you will be uncomfortable if your wife or your husband listened on. This cannot be overemphasized. Because once you start having this secret place where you can go and talk negatively about your spouse, you are well on your way to having an emotional affair. Because really, what's an emotional affair? It's an affair where you allow someone other than your spouse into your innermost being, and they're the ones who now know your deepest fears and your deepest vulnerabilities. You have this emotional entanglement, and you want to watch it. All right? All right. Now, I will say something about new friendships. New friendships can be really exciting. There are people that you meet that you just have that instant connection with. They make you laugh, they make you at ease, they relax you, and those kind of things happen. But this is the issue. If your spouse is red flagging it, you want to take 2 steps backwards and take a fresh look at that relationship. All right? Remember, why is this important? You need to remember, a friendship is basically to spice up your relationship, but your marriage is for life. Friends come and friends go. I am appalled at how many people put more premium on their friendships than they have put on their marriage. Then why did you marry them? If they are not going to be the person that you will put more premium on, why did you marry them? So you need to take note. You need to take note of that. Do not sacrifice your marriage on the altar of friendship. Unless there is something there. Can I speak frankly to men? Can I speak frankly to men? There is something that happens to a man when he realizes that he can command the attention of single girls. He feels an adrenaline rush. There's something inside him that says, I still got it. I can still do this. Especially when the man is hitting midlife. You know, the figure is changing a bit. The belly is going from 6 packs to super pack, just one, you know. It's interesting how women think that the only ones who have issues with the way their body is. But I think that is not even gender specific. I think men have issues with the way their body is, women have the issues with the way their body is. But there's something that happens when a man hits midlife. Late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, into their 50s. And then there is this 25-year-old that is fluttering around your 51-year-old husband. Trust me, he may want to keep it secret for a while. Just to enjoy the feeling like, I still got it. I'm still the man. All right? But men, when you start enjoying it, that's when the alarm should go off on your head. You're already in trouble. When you start enjoying it in a way that you don't want your spouse to know, you don't want to bring your wife into it, then you're already in trouble. You are on your way to having an extramarital affair. All right. Now, I don't have the time, but both husbands and wives also need to understand that that thing called midlife crisis, it also plays a part in this thing. Excuse me. Also plays a part in this thing. That is when we are at a particular age, we become dissatisfied with how our lives are. At times, for some people, it's their job. For some, it's their business. For some, it's their relationship. They just become dissatisfied. But this is the thing. It will pass. If you can be open and honest with your partner about what you are going through and the dissatisfaction that you are feeling, two of you can walk your way through it, and it will pass. I hope with these few words today, you've gotten something from our discussion. Until I come your way, maintain healthy platonic relationships, but please do not let them get out of hand. Boundaries, again I say, is the key word. Take care. I'll see you when I see you. Bye for now.